think I've ever been somewhere so quiet.
Welcome back. We have just finished climbing every major in Ireland. Now it was time for over 80 of them in Scotland, with hopes of getting to the Inner Hebrides soon. I still want to be climbing a mountain every day, so despite sailing across the Irish Sea this morning, we are of course still going to be climbing. Just an hour away from the harbour was a P600 named Merrick, the highest point in Galloway. Strategically timing ferry crossings to keep climbing mountains was a skill that I needed to master for this challenge to be a success.
Okay, so we're parked up in Galloway, first one in Scotland. Morale is boosted. I've just had a shave on the ferry here from Ireland, so I was just wondering then, what is that biting me? And then I realised it's a midgie. I've been used to no midgies in Ireland, but now I'm going to get absolutely eaten alive. Another one bagged at the top of Merrick. First one in Scotland, 80 to go. But yeah, not raining, I'm just in a wet cloud, but not raining, and the wind isn't too bad. So I'll quickly run back down now, and then we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
I was eager to head straight for some Scottish islands. However, I had to patiently wait for certain ferry crossings to make sure I was still climbing every day. So I decided to head east for a few days and into the Cairngorms before making my way back in the hopes that I had timed everything right for a series of voyages.
Just at the bottom of Ben Lake, first big one in Scotland. I think you can see it there up in the clouds.
Now please bear with me, as the mountains today were quite boring climbs, but they are obviously very necessary for the challenge. I made light work of Ben Vorlich and Ben Chauncey. At times on this challenge I would be moving very fast and wouldn't film that much. After all, I was climbing every P600 major, and when you're climbing non-stop with no rest, you don't have that much time to get the camera out.
Lovely compared to yesterday now, but that's been done for the day, just after 5. We'll keep pushing up to the Cairngorms, keep going east northeasterly from here. Done. Okay, I'm finally in the Cairngorms. I've got an 11k walk all the way to the top of Beniglo, not too sure, somewhere in that direction. After a long climb, I'm finally on the ridge. Just got to follow it along about 7-8 kilometers and I'm at the top of the mountain. Just come down off the first ridge, finally start to see the mountain. I've got to head up all the way up this this trail here. It's going to be a long climb to the top. I've got to go down a bit first. Almost 12 kilometers of climbing a ridge traverse has finally got me to the top. Time to head back. It's going to be like 26 kilometers covered. That was obviously the start of my climb, and then you just continue going up that ridge and along for many kilometers, but I'm finally at the end and I am so hungry.
The next day I entered the Balmoral estate to climb Lochnagar. The climb is long but very gradual, which probably helped when Queen Victoria climbed to this summit in 1848. Lochnagar experiences an alpine tundra climate, just like my next target tomorrow, Ben Macdui, the second highest mountain on these islands.
Just a few kilometres into going up Ben Macdui. Just came out the clouds. Ooh. I don't think I've ever been somewhere so quiet. But yeah, this is over a quarter of a way. There's no wind. And I can just see for miles over the clouds.
I would now start heading southwest, picking up nearby targets to kill some time before I catch my first ferry of many on the west coast of Scotland.
After some rest, I'm now down in the Trossachs, going up downhill now, and then I'm probably going to go Ben Lomond after, and that'll be 33 mountains then by the end of the day, hopefully. There it is, downhill, Dune Hill. Right above the clouds now. It's so hot, I haven't brought enough water.
It was great to make the most of this weather, and I could keep the pace up by just crossing over Loch Lomond for the second P600 of the day.
Well, that's number 2 for today. Number 33 of 120. Great weather, absolutely unbelievable.
Ben Lomond was definitely one of the easier mountains to climb, giving me more time in the evening. Wild swimming was a constant on this challenge, as I didn't always have access to a shower. I didn't really have many comforts on this solo adventure, so I was always resourceful when an opportunity presented itself.
Back to reality today. Just came up the ridge, I'm basically on the summit now. It's absolutely fucking horrendous weather, so. But we're practically there.
Now it's safe to say that some days I was starting to get very fatigued because I was still climbing 2 mountains a day when possible. Keeping up with the personal admin of cooking on my camping stove and drying soaked gear late into the evening was making me very tired.
Yo, just been in about an hour coming up this valley. Probably we still got an hour to go. Yeah, it's a big line. I don't have any energy, but just gotta keep going up that last bit here. Up there. Probably for another hour. I can't see the summit from here. Yeah, I cannot be fucked. I've made it. That was emotional. You see Ben Lomond where I was yesterday, and the other Ben Borwick where I was this morning. Oh, yeah, there's the other Ben Borwick. That's where I was this morning in the cloud. There's Dunhill over there. That's where I'm going tomorrow morning. I've got some good news. We finally have something interesting to climb. Got to scramble over this and then a few other bits, pinnacles. It's just like sheer up there. But I've got to scramble up there a few times to get to the summit. Finally get to use my arms a bit, which is going to be much more interesting than walking up steep grass embankments. And there's the one I done yesterday evening. Just got to the top and there's a big storm coming. I just came up that side, but now it's about to fucking rain sideways. There it is, falling. It'll probably be rain down there, but yeah, it was snow up here. My coat was going a bit white, but it's all melted now. It melted in about 10 seconds. But yeah, first blizzard. I can't be stopped. And there is the van. No, sorry, it's not there. It is, I can't see on this little screen. It's somewhere there on the road. Obviously I got up onto this ridge, came along, had some really good steep scramble on the way up to the summit. This is actually quite a fun mountain, very pretty to look at, lots of exposure. Oof. Just parked up for Ben Moore. Don't know how long it will stay like this, so we better get out there quick. For number 37. Look at that blue sky. That is unbelievable. It'll be raining in 10 minutes. I just came out this massive forest down that valley. Behind that hill over there is where I started, somewhere quite a few kilometres away. But I can see the summit now. I can see right down the Clyde into Glasgow. And over there, where is it? On the camera. So you've got this ridge here, but above it there's a silhouette, and that is the Isle of Arran with Goatfell. Very faintly see it out there on the sea. That's where we're going to soon. Okay, I've just parked up here on the coast, and over there is Arran, tomorrow's target. Managed to get on the first ferry over to Arran today to do Goatfell. Really fast, literally just queued up, got on, and like as soon as I parked the van, they already shut the door and we were basically moving, so should be able to get up Goatfell pretty quickly this morning, and then try and head back and go over to Jura. But yeah, we'll be over there in about 15 minutes. Just came up from the start down there, there's a car park. Came through that woodland and past the castle, a really nice arboretum garden. And you can see the sun out there. Well, that's us done with Arran. Try and see if how quickly we can get over to Jura so we can climb the one I got there tomorrow. Yeah, better get back to the port now, get across the mainland, then head over to Islay and then probably to Jura. So we're ready for tomorrow.
Arran was a lovely island, but I was desperate to catch a ferry tonight to Islay. The only problem was that the port on the north side of Arran was tidal, meaning I had to wait a couple of precious hours before I could sail back.
I'm currently at the front of the queue for the wait to get back over, but I think I've got quite a long wait here.
Once I landed back on the Kintyre Peninsula, I had to cross it with a 12-minute drive to the port of Cairngorms. However, I was in trouble because the last ferry sailed to Islay in 13 minutes.
I am fucking buzzing. I literally just ran out, bought a ticket, and they are closing the ramp behind me right now. Just pulled up. The last on. That was insane. Literally pulled up. Within 1 minute I paid the ticket and I was on. And we're literally leaving. That was so close. But it saves me so much time tomorrow. That's amazing.
I spent the rest of the evening driving across Islay from Port Ellen to Port Ascaig, where I would bed down for the night, as tomorrow morning I would cross the Sound of Islay to Jura. Jura is a massive island and very remote, with a population of about 200 people and 6,000 deer. The main settlement is on the sheltered east side. However, if you continued along for an hour, you would reach the most isolated part of the island, where George Orwell completed one of the most famous novels, 1984.
And yeah, number 39 landed on Jura this morning. Very short crossing, like 5 minutes from Islay. Yeah, this island is massive and no one lives on it. It's well nice. Knackered, man. That bog is slowing me down.
Unfortunately, I only have to go at one of the stunning Paps of Jura for this challenge. I would love to come back and summit every peak on this island someday.
It's a steep climb from that lake. So much loose stone. Every 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the views are amazing. Here I am at the top of the Paps of Jura, and I've got a view. There's Islay. Port Ellen is somewhere over there, over those hills, I think. I've driven all the way over across Islay. This morning I sailed from a harbour here across to Jura and drove around the coast of Jura to somewhere around that forest or beach area. And I've walked many miles across that wilderness to the bottom, and then I've came up this ridge. Just made it on board this one. He said I'm on standby, but yeah, there was just enough room.
Once again I got very lucky with boarding a ferry last minute. I sailed from Port Ascaig back to the mainland, which let me say goodbye to Jura's mountains. Tomorrow would require a quick turnaround, as I would try to sail to the Isle of Mull.
This was the nice scramble up